Welcome to HaveTravel-Memories YouTube show. So glad you're with us again. I hope that you're getting to travel a little bit this year. And if you haven't done it so far, why not? You know, we've talked about some really cool trips on this channel, and we're going to talk about some more cool ones today that you can take part in. I am Paul, the host, the person who talks, the person who jackjaws, the person who, well, asks questions. Basically, I'm the stand-in for you, the viewer, because I get to ask questions of the expert. In this case, this week, we are talking to Jason.Haverfield. And, you know, when I say it's a travel company, it's really a family because Have Travel is the Haverfields. Jodell, so glad you're here to talk about some really cool stuff we've got coming up. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Paul. Thanks for asking.
Well, we got to talk a little bit last time about some of the cruises that you've gotten to take, finally, at long last. And now we've got some other stuff to talk about. We've got a really cool trip that Jason and Jelane's going with him, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they're going to be going a really cool location. I don't want to give any of it away. And then we've got a really cool cruise to talk about. And they're really different areas. You know, if you like cold, one will be really great. If you like warmth and, you know, a little more sparse area, the other one will be really, really great. So where are Jason and Jelane heading?
Right now, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
They're going to a concert. As most of you know, Jason is our son. We're a family business. He is our oldest son, and he loves music. And if you've ever watched any of his podcasts, you'll see guitars in his background, much like you saw with Paul.
Right.
He loves music. He loves guitars. He builds guitars. And whenever there's a concert that he can get to, he and his brothers will always try to go, and they often take their wives in tow. Well, this time they're in Tampa Bay, and they're there to see Tears for Fears.
Oh, yes.
It's an 80s band from Bath, England.
Yep. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Yeah, in the 80s, Jason was in high school.
Okay.
So this band really is important to him. He grew up with it. He loves it. He said that they are still alive and well and performing all the time. So when he could drive the 6 hours from where we live in the Panhandle in Miramar Beach, Florida, he grabbed his wife and away they went to see this band, Tears for Fears. So when he comes back, he will do a podcast and tell you all about it. He promised to take pictures and share that. And maybe he even has some upcoming news about other concerts that might be coming up.
And that's a really good travel opportunity. Destination trips like that are really cool. I just went a couple of weeks ago to New Orleans to see a bunch of bands. And being able to go to another location like that, again, after years of not being able to, because concerts are kind of one of the last things to come back, you know, because they've tended to be some super spreader events. But man, it's so great being able to go not just to a cool concert, but to a cool location for a cool concert.
Absolutely. Now, I have to say that I have no idea who Tears for Fears are myself.
That's okay.
But Jason assured me that I would recognize their music when I heard it, as you did, Paul. So I'm sure that I will. I remember the last band I saw. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Ricky Nelson.
Ricky Nelson was the last time you went to a concert?
Well, I did go to a rock band concert, but I honestly can't remember who they were. Jason bought tickets and I couldn't, they were expensive. And it was in Atlanta where his younger brother lives. And it was an excuse for me to go and see his younger brother because he went as well. So he bought tickets for his father and we went along. But Ricky Nelson was truly the last concert I went to. It was in Montana. I loved it, especially since it was shortly before he was killed in the plane crash.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I love Ricky Nelson to this day. In fact, his twin sons came to the conference center in Fort Walton Beach and did a concert, and our kids bought us tickets, and my husband and I did go see that. They were wonderful. They're very musically talented like their dad. But anyway, back to Jason. He is going to come back and report about this concert and maybe some more concerts that might be coming up.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because if you want to be able to go see bands, you line up your hotels, line up your plane tickets. You know, if you're going to do a road trip, great. But, you know, you might think oh, I'm getting a concert ticket and that's all it is. Well, no, I mean, that's a trip, especially if you're seeing like a big festival, like if you're going like, oh, I'm going to see Paul McCartney in Glendale, California or something. You're going to need to talk to someone like Joe Dell to know, okay, you want the best time? Talk to a person who knows travel.
Well, that's what a travel advisor does. We go through the details for you so that we try to make it so that usually all you have to do is pack, and we even help
Right.
you with that. But we try to take care of all the details so that there's no surprises and you feel like you're getting what you went for and your money was well spent, because traveling and vacations are an investment. They're investment in our memories. They're a very strong investment in our lives, and it's something that we look forward to. And everybody needs to have something to look forward to, especially after coming out of this pandemic.
Exactly. Well, tell me about the next place that Jason and so they're going to go someplace that the viewers could go to as well, right? This is a trip that would be available for people if they wanted to, right?
Oh yeah, yes, yes. While Jason loves music, he is a musician and he plays and loves it with all his heart, but there is something else that is in his heart, and
Mhm.
that is where he was raised. We raised our children in Montana. Montana is very popular right now, and I was surprised when we moved to Florida back in 2007 that Montana is on the bucket list for a lot of people. So I realized how beautiful it was when we lived there, and I didn't fully appreciate it until we left. But Montana is absolutely gorgeous, other than their long, horrific winters
Mm.
and very short springs and summers. That's the complaint I had, hence I convinced my husband to retire in Florida because I like the warm weather.
Right.
Jason does not like the heat. He does love Florida where we live. He
Mhm.
loves the fall and winter because we are the only part of Florida that actually has a winter.
Yeah.
But he longs for that cooler weather in Montana. He loved Montana, and they love the hiking and the fishing. Our boys grew up riding their bikes down to the Bitterroot River to spearfish.
Hmm.
They grew up with rope swings into lakes. They grew up water skiing on the beautiful lakes that surround there. So every time they go back, it's a lot of memories, especially for Jason. When he grew up, he became an airline pilot, and he used to fly into Missoula all the time. And before COVID, I used to meet him there and bring him lunch and have lunch with him. Then after, not COVID, before 9/11,
Oh,
I
yeah.
could
Yeah.
meet him and have lunch with him.
Mm.
And then that ended, and I could no longer take lunch to him when he would be in Missoula. But he used to fly into there, and it is one of the most dangerous areas to fly into. He was a captain for Delta SkyWest. The mountains can be
Mm.
very tricky, the fog, the snow, it's very dangerous, but he loved it. So he goes back to Montana on an average of once a year. He makes a trek back there. This time, he is flying into Missoula again. His plan is to spend a little time in the Missoula area. Like I said, we raised our sons in the Bitterroot Valley, overlooking the Bitterroot Valley on a hillside, Highway 93, the famous 93. So one of the things that he's planning on doing is fishing the Bitterroot River, the Clark Fork River. He loves hiking. So he will be hiking and just truly enjoying the beauty. He loves the Clark Fork. Rock Creek is famous. They have a huge lodge there. They're famous for salmon fishing. So he's going to be doing that. He's also going to drive to Como Lake, which is a lake he used to water ski in. It's also close to Darby, Montana, which is where Yellowstone is currently being filmed. The
Okay.
huge popular TV series Yellowstone with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
So he's going to be driving through there, and he'll tell us a little bit about what he sees there. A lot of celebrities even live up the Bitterroot Valley. We lived not far from several musicians. Their children went to school with the local kids. A lot of celebrities love to buy land up there. It is truly a beautiful area, and becoming more and more popular as time goes by and people really learn to appreciate travel. So along with visiting the filming of Yellowstone, he's going to come back and drive through the Swan Valley, where there's just lake after lake after lake. And we used to go water skiing up there. There's Seeley Lake, Swan Lake. One of his favorite lakes, which is a non-wake lake, so no skiing or anything, is Holland Lake. And there is a Holland Lodge there, Holland Lake Lodge, that has been there forever. And he will stop there. And it is absolutely beautiful, very special to him. Then he will go on. He will drive the Swan Valley into Big Fork, Montana. If you make notes of these high points I'm mentioning, just go to the website of each of these and look them up and see what they offer. My aunt and uncle still live in Big Fork. It is a beautiful little village, a town. Often it's in movies and TV shows as well. And then he will go to Flathead Lake, another lake that we used to ski on, and we would rent cabins up there and stay for a week or so and get all our kids together. He will be staying there for a couple of nights. Then he's going to drive the Salmon River Valley through Idaho, which is a beautiful drive. And he will end up in Idaho Falls. His wife will fly in and join him after he's through with all the hiking and fishing. Then she's going to join him for the beautiful drive. They will end up in Idaho Falls and then on to where her mother lives. It's her mother's 80th birthday. So that's part of the trip. So they will go to Utah as well and do some traveling through Utah, which is a beautiful state. And then they will fly back to Florida. So he's got a lot on this trip planned, but he knows how to work it all in. Where he grew up, close within walking distance of where he grew up, they discovered a campsite of Lewis and Clark, one of their campsites, and it became a state park. So our children grew up with all of these wonderful benefits. And he, like I said, he likes to go back to Montana once a year on the average. So he would be fantastic to put together a trip. If you've got some interesting places in Montana you want to go to, let us know, because he can totally put together a trip that will hit all your high points. You can go on your own as an independent trip, or he can put together a group where you will have an incredible host taking you where you need to go, who knows all the ins and outs.
See, this is the important thing of talking to a travel advisor who actually travels, because then you're a resource for the experience of, yes, this would be a great trip. This is a great place to go. This is the experience. This is the personalized, because I think a lot of people have romantic notions about a lot of locations, and maybe it wouldn't fit for them. Maybe it wouldn't be, like I know I love the idea of going to Montana. It would be such a gorgeous place, but I wouldn't want to be there in a bitter cold. And I would think, well, it'll be fine in October because I'm used to Pensacola, where October is 75 degrees,
right.
And in Montana, it might be 7.5 degrees.
Oh, it's usually snowing. Our children have to wear coats over their Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Always.
I'm from Pennsylvania and I've forgotten all of that. I forgot all of this, but that's the thing, is that you talk to somebody who has the experience of these kinds of trips, and then they can tell you, yes, this is a great time to go. These are the highlights you want to hit. No, this is too touristy. Or maybe if you want touristy, then you go do that. So, but that's the kind of experience that you get. Now, you have another trip coming up that I know you want to talk about, and talking about cold locations. I know during the summertime it's fine. My grandparents used to head in the motorhome and actually drive up to where you're talking about next. And they would literally spend like weeks up there during the summertime. What is the next cruise that you want to mention?
Well, it's an Alaska cruise.
Alaska
Cruise. It's in the fall, though. It's in early October. The reason being, it is a repositioning cruise. So it's a 9-day cruise, and it's a rare cruise. You don't get to do this very often. This will be on Norwegian Cruise Line. We will be hosting it as well. You will be going from Vancouver to, I believe, San Francisco. Yes, Vancouver to San Francisco.
Okay.
So you will go to Vancouver, you will see Juneau, Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, and then you will have 2 days at sea and end up in San Francisco. Now, San Francisco is another one of Jason's favorite places. So this hits, he's been to Alaska before on the cruises. Alaska is almost as high on his favorites as Montana. So any chance he can get to go to Alaska, he is all over it. Jason is going to be one of the hosts. He'll be co-hosting this group, which is a repositioning Alaska cruise, which is not common. So that's why it's taking place in early October. Usually the Alaska cruises end in late September, but this one is actually in early October. It is a 9-day cruise. It is from Vancouver and you end up in San Francisco. Now, Alaska is at the top of one of Jason's favorite places to be, as well as Montana. He's been there a couple of times, and any chance he gets to go, he will. But also San Francisco is one of the highlights for him. He loves San Francisco. He also used to fly into San Francisco. I think he interned in California when he was interning to be a commercial pilot. So he loves this trip. The itinerary really appeals to him. So he will be co-hosting this trip. They put it together. In Alaska, you will see Juneau, Glacier Bay, and Ketchikan before you get 2 wonderful days at sea. I love sea days. If you want to go somewhere where you can truly relax and do whatever you want and be pampered, it's those sea days. So you'll have 2 wonderful days at sea and then end up in San Francisco, where he is going to stay for a few days and have a great time in San Francisco before he flies back to Florida and gets back to work. Yeah. So that's a great cruise. Because it's a repositioning cruise, it's very affordable for what you're getting. Go to our website. We have it on our website. You can see the pictures and read all about it and the dates and everything. I think it's October 10th, but go look at it and sign up for that cruise. If you have any questions about it, our contact information's there, or you can make a comment down below and you can let us know what you think. If you have any places in Montana that you would like to see visited by Jason or yourself, please put it in the comments. Let us know so that we know what people are really looking for, because we can do that. This is our stomping ground. This is what we truly know. Even though I don't like the cold weather, I know it. I know Montana and I know Alaska, even though I've never been there, because I have booked it. When we lived in Montana, our travel agency did book a lot of Alaska cruises and independent contracted flights for fishermen to go in and just fish. So I'm familiar with Alaska. So I think if you're interested in any of this, please let us know, and we will be happy to research and do whatever you'd like. We have a lot more trips that are coming up. We'll talk to you about those later. We will also be talking about the trips that we've done this year so far. We have clients that have come back from some amazing trips. We'll be talking about those. I'm talking about Tahiti. I'm talking about Clipper cruises on those small yachts. So look for our podcast on those things. I know you will really enjoy it.
It'll be an absolute blast. And remember, you can always go to HaveTravel-Adventures.com. Oh gosh, I've forgotten.
HaveTravel-Memories.
HaveTravel-Memories.com. I forgot the URL off the top of my head for a second. Even though it's right there on the screen, I can't see it, but you can, viewers. Yep. So you had a leg up on me.
HaveTravel-Memories. The have is the first part of our last name, Haverfield. So HaveTravel-Memories Vacations.
Exactly. And down below, not only will be linked to the URL be, so you can just click on it and go there, but specific links that will take you to the Alaska cruise, as well as the links to various places that were mentioned in Montana that Jodelle mentioned during the episode. So basically, we want to get you the information you need to be able to replicate these trips yourself, because obviously the Haverfields know how to get you where you need to go. HaveTravel-Memories.com. Interesting that memories is the word that I forgot. That is a little bit of irony. In any case, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, Jodelle. I look forward to the next time that we talk. We're going to be talking about more really cool trips. So until then, go and travel somewhere. Go have fun. See you later, Jodelle.
Thank you, Paul.